All right, so everyone, you guys are in for a treat tonight. We have Miss Kiana Walbrook, who has been with S.O.A.R since S.O.A.R, I believe, um, closing out the fundamentals cohort with this class, Pitch Perfect. So I won't speak for you, Miss Kiana. Go ahead and you could jump in and introduce yourself, uh, and I'll pass it over to you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. How are we feeling? You can definitely use some emojis. I know it's a little late, but we're definitely going to have a good time. My name is Kiana Walbrook. I'm the CEO and founder of Spark Leadership. I am so honored and grateful that SOAR has picked me to help you usher out the program before you do your pitches. And I know some of you are doing your guided research project, but today is all about working on our presence and also public speaking. So we're going to be learning some tips. We're going to be practicing. So there's going to be a lot of requirements where we're not only going to use the chat box, but I'm really going to encourage everyone to put on their mic at different times and participate because the more we speak out loud and the more we get out of our heads, the easier doing pitches in front of other people, whether it's an idea or your research project is going to go. As students, there's always going to be a time where you might have to do a presentation or you might have to get in front of a group and just practice speaking to other people and communicating with a group. So, today we're going to do that. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be some activities. Much of this is all about learning by doing. So, it's not going to be a lot of talking as opposed to us being in different groups and learning together. All right. So, let me go ahead and share my screen. Can everyone see? Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, so let's get started. Welcome to Picture Perfect. The goals and objectives today is that we are going to be creating an elevator pitch or helping you get your business idea noticed or your research project understood. During this workshop, we're going to learn some fundamentals, some foundations as it relates to pitching a program, pitching a business, or pitching an idea or the work that you're doing by crafting 1 minute pitches. We're going to learn that by practicing doing different activities. And then we're going to be receiving feedback, not only from myself, but also from our peers. So, on today's agenda, we're going to do a quick baggage check because I love to travel. And part of that is not bringing unnecessary things, which happens to be some of our fears, right? And then we're going to talk about different tips around public speaking. And then we're going to move right into an activity called Sell This, where we're going to have to sell a hard to sell item by using different practices and also tips that we've learned. And then it's going to be showtime because you're each going to get 5 minutes to kind of look over your stuff that you have. And then we're going to be pitching to the larger group. So let's start with baggage check. Many of us have fears around public speaking. Some are big and some are small, but all of us at some point in our lives are going to have certain things that we're unsure of as it relates to speaking in public. So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to just spend about 3 minutes just exploring some of those fears as it relates to public speaking. So, I am going to hand it off to you all. I want everyone to think about one thing that when they think about speaking in front of a group of people, whether it be the entire S.O.A.R faculty or in school or in any place where you have to speak in front of one or more people, what are some of the things that make you a little fearful or that can be a bit challenging?
Speaking like too fast or too slow.
All right. So speaking too fast or slow. So pacing your communication sometimes can feel a little nerve-wracking. Anyone else?
Get
When you
nervous.
mess up. Oh, sorry. When you like mess up when you're talking.
Okay. So making those mistakes or stumbling on your words. Anyone else? Let's see. Summer, I think
Overthinking.
you
Sorry.
unfroze too.
Yeah. I get nervous when people stare while I'm talking.
Okay. So all the owl eyes just blinking and looking at you. Anyone else? So we have speaking too
Overthinking about what
fast.
I'm gonna say.
Oh, sorry, Caroline.
No, it's okay. I said like overthinking too much about what you're gonna say.
Mm, absolutely. So getting in your head so much that it makes you a little nervous, even though you knew what you were going to say, but now that you're in front of everyone, you've worked yourself up to be a little anxious. Anyone else? So thank you, Roxy, Summer, Nabia. Did I say it right? Please correct me. I like to say people's names correct. And Caroline. Anyone else? So for those of
Stuttering or
you,
using filler words.
oh, okay. So you said stuttering. You can also use the group chat for those of you who are a little shy still. All right, so we have a good list. Speaking too fast or too slow. So sometimes pacing ourselves can be a little nerve-wracking. Making a mistake while we're speaking about a subject that we know or something that we're just a bit nervous about. Having people stare at us too long could start to make you feel a little nervous. Or overthinking the actual communication can be something, and stuttering. So, the great thing about all of these is that there are different tips and things that we can do to offset it. But I just want to let you all know this training that I'm doing with you today, I actually do with hundreds of adults in different sectors. So, everyone has a fear or two when it comes to public speaking, so you're not alone. The great thing is that what, now what? We all have fears, and guess what? You actually might stutter when you speak. You may overthink right before you have to go on stage or before you have to do a presentation. There may be one or two people or 100 people staring at you. You might make a mistake, and most people make mistakes. And there may be a time in your presentation where you speak faster than you would have liked, or you don't speak fast enough. So what? I like to say you have all these fears, and they are rightfully so, because fear is false evidence appearing real. So, oftentimes we get in our head and we might work ourselves up to the point where we no longer want to speak in public. The great thing is, everything that you fear might actually happen, but so what? And I say so what because we're all human and things happen. And although it might seem a little cliche, but they say the show must go on, you can think of all the worst things, and guess what? It probably happened to me. I've fell on stage, I've tripped over wires, I've forgotten my cue cards and blanked out in front of a crowd. I've spoke or said someone's name the wrong way. I've jumbled some of my words. We're human and things are going to happen and life happens, but so what? We can rebound, and that doesn't mean that we did a bad job. The whole point is now what? Now, what are you going to do? So you may have slipped. You may have had something that felt embarrassing in the moment happen, but now what? It's all about how do you take that one moment in time where your fear might actually come to fruition, but how do you close out matters. So if I stutter on a word, and I move forward, people are there because I have information or business, or maybe I have done guided research that other people find very interesting. So they're not going to spend a lot of time on what didn't go right. I'm going to make sure that they spend most of the time thinking about all the things that will go right and all the information that I prepped for. So, in order to do that, we want to do a few things. So, here's some tips. The what happened, so what, and now what is getting into the nitty gritty. So, now that you are getting into speaking in public, it's very important that you know a few things. You want to know what you're getting into. Are you there to inform people about information? Are you there to persuade someone to buy or partake in your business model, or understand what it is that you're talking about in terms of your research and saying, oh, wow, I get it and I want to back it? This is a great place to start. Are you an entertainer? You're trying to entertain your audience. So it's really important to know what is the purpose of why you're speaking. Why are you setting up this meeting? Why are you going to this class? Why are you a part of S.O.A.R? What do you want to get out of it? And then making sure that you understand that at the end of the class, what impact do you want to make? So, in order to be the best possible on daytime, on game time, you want to research your audience. Who's going to be there? It might be the peers that are on this call right now. You want to know what are some of the likes, the dislikes. What is the vibe of the group? Are they cheerful? Is it right after they've eaten? If it's too late, if it's really early, what are some of the things that I need to do to prep so that I can have the best moment possible? And the more you know about your audience, the better. So for some of you who are thinking about pitching your business, wherever you are, think about who might be there. Are they people that know about the industry that you're about to pitch? Or are they people that know nothing about it? So you'll know that you have to give more information. The whole point is to be better prepared. You also want to learn to love the logistics. Where are you speaking? Are you speaking on Zoom when you do your pitch? Is it going to be in person? If so, there's going to be certain things that you want to do to stand out from the crowd. For instance, Zoom. We know that Zoom, you can actually create a background. So just think about your vibe, think about your creativity, think about your personality. What do you want people to remember? If I know that I'm not going to be able to be seen in person and they're going to see me on camera, maybe I might go on Canva, which is free, and I might make a really nice background, a really nice Zoom background that I can add so that it can be vibrant and it can be something that keeps the people talking and remembering who I am. If you're in person, is there a column? Are people's view going to be blocked? If so, I need to move because the audience can't move. Am I going to be talking on a stage, or am I going to be at a networking and it's going to be very informal? So just think about that. Are people going to be eating? Will there be music in the background? What's going on? And the same goes for when you do your pitch. If it's super loud in an area, you might want to lock yourself in a bathroom and then give yourself a nice background and do it there. I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter if you're going on a job interview, if you're doing a pitch or a presentation, you can problem solve. There's nothing too big to not problem solve. Also, being memorable. I want everyone to think about it could be a famous person, it could be someone you admire, it could be somebody who is a performer of some sort. What makes them memorable to you? So, if you can name one person that's memorable and why they stick out to you, what about their presence? What is something that they do in their craft that makes you remember them? Does anyone have anyone? It could be a performer. So here I have Dr. Martin Luther King. I also have Anyala Van Zant, and I have Steve Jobs. Why might I have put them up here for being memorable? And if you don't know any of them, it's fine.
Because of
So
their
let's
impact
think.
on society.
What happened?
Because of their impact on society.
Okay. So yes, they've each had an impact on society in a different way. So when you think about Steve Jobs, who was the creator of Apple, what about Apple in general is memorable?
The fact that we use it, or most people use it every day, like as a daily activity or like technology.
Right. So it's recognizable. Also, think about their logo, right? When you think of an apple, like an actual apple, it makes you think about Apple. Or if you saw that logo anywhere, you would know what we're talking about. It's on every iPhone, it's on every product. You see the apple, right? So let's go to Dr. Martin Luther King and let's think about his famous speech, I Have a Dream. What about that speech is memorable? What did he do to help people remember? If they don't remember anything, what is one line everyone remembers?
I have a dream.
I have a dream. Why? He says it about 100 times. So the idea of repetition is what makes his speeches memorable, right? So when we think about individuals that stick out to us, that we might follow, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, wherever your social media, or if you're a music person, think about an artist. If you're an art person or a dancer or whatever you're into, what about the person makes it memorable? It might be their presence, or maybe they make certain facial expressions. It might be the pitch and tone of their voice that's memorable. It might be their work ethic that's memorable. Whatever it is, it's going to be important for you to think about your strengths. What is going to make you memorable, right? So some people wear certain colors where everyone else might wear black. This person is going to put on red, not because they love red, but everyone's going to remember in a sea of black, I saw and I remember that person wore a red shirt. Or you have that one person who their hair color is maybe all blonde and they have like a strip of purple. So in an interview, I might remember, oh, the person that had the little strip of purple. So the whole point is, what about you and what about your presentation? What about how you're going to show up is going to help everyone remember you. So it might be a certain word that you use, it might be a visual that you use, or it might be your presence. What are you going to do? What are you going to do as an opener? It might be that you give someone a stat that they'll always remember, or you are using some of your talents. Maybe you can sing, maybe you have music in the background. I don't know. The whole point is there are so many different ways that you can leave a lasting memory for people so that when they speak about you when you're not around, you become that memorable factor for them. So that takes us to 7 seconds. What do you think 7 seconds, based on the topic that we have right now, is important? What do you think the 7 seconds is all about?
Isn't 7 seconds like what the amount of time someone has to identify you and like get their first impression based off what they did?
Absolutely. Attention spans are anywhere from 7 seconds, 15 seconds, and I blame social media with all the reels. Now, you have 7 seconds to make an impression. The same goes for a resume. Did you know that most recruiters only look at a resume for 7 seconds and then they make a decision whether or not to put it in the okay pile? So, what are you going to do in your first 7 seconds to grab the attention of your audience? So, I just want you to think about that. As we're going into next week, what do you think you can do to be memorable in the first 7 seconds? And then there's practice. Practice makes perfect. So, there's so many different ways that we can practice. Having a course like this helps you to practice being more comfortable speaking in public. However, there are so many other ways that you can practice. You can tape or video record yourself. You can practice in front of a mirror. You might laugh at yourself a little bit because it takes some time to get used to looking at yourself and speaking to you. Other people in the apartment or house might think, things are going on, but they're going to hear you saying something over and over again and realize that you're practicing. Um, if you're going to use props or if you're going to use visuals, it's going to be really important for you to practice what it might look like. The worst thing that could happen is that you do it the day of, and that's where most of the issues might happen. So, if you have a PowerPoint, you might want to see how do I use music, or if you want to transition from your PowerPoint to a video, click on them and make sure that they're working. You want to maybe ask some friends or a mentor or someone that you trust to practice, and you can practice this out. I actually had two friends this week ask me if they could run something by me. They were going to conduct a meeting and they just wanted to see the flow. Another person is doing a presentation for a conference tomorrow, and they asked me to sit in and give feedback. You also want to rehearse more than once. So today we're going to be practicing some of our skills, but you want to do that more than one time. And then you also want to rehearse in small bits and in reverse to see if it makes sense. So you want to time it. If they only give you a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you want to make sure that you're respecting that time. I always like to shave it down 10 seconds less than what they give you because sometimes they may cut you off, and you want to make sure that you get the most important information at the beginning of your presentation. And then when it's showtime, you just want to get into character. For some of us, we've already talked about some of our fears. So getting into character is going to be so important. There's a lot of people who have like alter egos, and it's because they themselves are shy, but when they get on stage, they tap into that other person, and it's almost like becoming an actor or actress. And you're just saying, for these 2 minutes, I'm just going to act my way through it until I become more comfortable. So it's like action. And you're just like, the true me is a bit shy, but today I'm going to tap into my more extroverted self, and I am going to act as if I'm extroverted just for 7 seconds, for a minute, for 2 minutes. All right. So when you're doing a quick pitch, some of the things that you may want to do is sell, right? So today we're going to do a quick activity where you're going to have to sell an item. We're going to do this because it's easier to sell something through an activity. And then we're going to take those elements of what we learned through feedback and we're going to apply it to our business pitch and to pitching our guided research projects. So, the first thing is you want to tell the person about. Tell them about your product or tell them about your research project. Then you want to tell them more descriptive words. You want to give them more information. Try not to go over three key pieces to that information. Then you also want to show how is this thing that you're talking about going to improve someone's life, maybe their lifestyle, maybe their mood, their health. Is it going to change their look? Is it going to change their community? Is it going to change their team? Or is it going to change their style or understanding? And then if there is a cost associated with it, what is that cost? So if you did a guided research, what's the standard cost for starting the business or for that product? And then you always want to give people information on how they could get their hands on the product, the business, get in contact with someone, or how they can get in contact with you for more information around the research. So now I want to get into this activity. This is going to be fun. I call sell this item activity. Who here knows about TikTok Shop? Anyone? All right. So I'm trying to if you've never woken up and saw an infomercial where they're like, buy this for $5.99, right? TikTok Shop is a place where you can sell a lot of things. And there are regular people like you and I selling actual products for other companies. And that doesn't mean that they took up marketing. It's just, I know about this product because I like it. Maybe I use it. Or the whole point is to get someone else to buy the product. So we're going to do that by coming up with a pitch for a few items that might be really hard to sell. So we have a scrub with no scent, a cup with no bottom, a clock with no hands, a mic with no sound, and flavorless gum. So these might be a bit difficult to sell, but what we're going to do now is I'm going to actually break you all up into groups of two, and you're going to have to sell the item. So let me see. All right. So the first room, you are going to be the cup with no bottom. The second room is going to be the clock with no hands. So how do you sell a clock with no hands, right? So you're going to sell a clock with no hands to a bunch of teachers. No, actually, you're going to sell the clock with no hands to surgeons, whoever, like doctors. Whoever has the cup with no bottom, you have to sell that to a bunch of peers, like teenagers. Group number three, you're going to have a mic with no sound. So, how do you sell a mic with no sound to a bunch of artists, like music artists? And number four, room number four, you're going to have flavorless gum. So you're going to get 5 minutes in your group to come up with no more than a 30-second to 1 minute pitch on how do we sell this item. So we're going to act like we're going to be on TikTok Shop, and you have to do a quick video, which is not a video. It's just going to be you presenting your item and selling it to your audience. So the flavorless gum is actually going to go to teachers. All right. So are we all ready? I'm gonna open up the rooms and you're all gonna have 5 minutes to come up with your cell. Okay? If you need help, you can have one person in your team leave the room and come back to the major room, and I can support you. Welcome back. Right. Is that everyone? We have a few more people. Gonna close in 4 seconds. All right. Okay, so let's start with cup with no bottom. So, team cup with no bottom, you are up first. So, who was on that team?
B. It was B, Jasong, and what's her name? I don't remember her name.
So, it was Summer,
Uh-huh.
Stephanie, Rima, and Jisung. All right. So, we are going to take it away. I'm going to spotlight. Let's see. Oops. All right. So, you ready to go? You have your team? You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to put the timer on for 1 minute, but if you're done before then, that's fine as well. Oh, I just did an update on the phone and everything looks weird. So let me do timers and 1 minute and start.
Um, do you want to prank your friends on April Fools? Well, Cups Up has the best product to offer, the bottomless cup. It comes with 12 cups for 10.99. This cup will have you laughing all year long. You should put some small beads into the cup and have your friends confused.
All right. Is
The
that
f-
it?
mm-hmm,
That's it? Awesome. So cups up.
mm-hmm.
All right. So let's give a round of applause to cup with no bottom. So walk me through what. Okay, so the item's name was Cups Up, so you actually named your product, which is awesome. The function was like a practical joke, right? So it had a function, people know why they're buying it. One, I can remember the logo. Two, there's a purpose in buying it. Um, and then you also gave us a price point. You said 12 cups for 10
Yeah, for 10.99.
for 10.99. Awesome. Thank you so much. And again, do you see how in 5 minutes you came up with an entire slogan and almost like short marketing for an item that you just found out about? So just imagine your own program, your own business. So if you could do that in 5 minutes, I can't wait to hear about your business or your research. Who wants to go next? Let's go with flavorless gum. So what group had flavorless gum?
Um, that was me, Isaac, and Jaylene, I think.
All right, so let's see what you got. Let me put on the timer.
Um, okay, well, I don't know if they had anything else, but I wrote like the benefits where it gets you to focus better since there's no taste or flavor, good for people with allergies since there's no scent spreading around, and you don't need to constantly switch out the gum for losing its flavor.
Okay. So did you all collectively work on it?
Yeah.
All right. So what are some things, if you had more time, you would want? If you can go over that again,
Sorry?
could you do it again one more time?
Yeah. I said gets you to focus better since there's no taste or flavor. Good for people with allergies since there's no scent spreading around. And you don't need to constantly switch out the gum for losing its flavor.
Okay. Awesome. So the information that you gave, right? It's going to be amazing for the midsection of your pitch. The first thing would be what is like it's flavorless gum, so you have to introduce the product and then you go over the benefits, which you did perfectly. Like the focus better, can reduce allergies, no need to waste gum because it already doesn't have any flavor to it, right? So a person's going to absolutely know what the benefits are to buying the flavorless gum from your company. What most people would want to know is what's the name of the product? And oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Caroline.
I have that part. I just didn't know if you wanted us to read it or not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. As much information as possible.
So I had wrote the name of the gum was Neutral Chill.
Neutral chill?
Yeah. And then um I had wrote to the focus and skip the flavor. And for like pricing range, I put like a single pack, which probably comes with like around like 12 to like 15 like pieces of gum. Um s- Ranging from like $3 to 4.99.
Okay. So we have a good, I love the 99, right? Because the 99 keeps you under that extra dollar. And I think you also did it for Cups Up. So we have Cups Up for the first one, and we have Neutral Chill. And I like your slogan. So many companies and a lot of products might have a slogan. So Neutral Chill, chew, what did you say? Chew the focus, skip the flavor.
Yeah, I wrote, yeah, choose the focus, skip the flavor.
So this is a great opener, right? Like, I just wanted to introduce you to Neutral Chill, which is a flavorless gum. We want you to chew the focus and skip the flavor. So you see how your idea for this product is going to draw people in because they're automatically, one, you have a name for your product. I love the name because the fact that it is flavorless gum and you're calling it neutral chill, it also gives somewhat of a vibe of, man, I want to try that. Like it seems like it does more than just what it's supposed to do. So it might bring down anxiety. You can add that as well because if you think about the name, just chilling out makes you more relaxed, right? And chewing on the focus and skipping the flavor is a great play on what it is that you're selling. So I love it, love it. As you begin to put all of your ideas together, coming up with a succinct way to advertise it is going to be key, but you have all the elements from the what's in it for me to naming the product and having an actual follow up. So great. Can we also have cup with no bottom and then clock with no hands? I mean, sorry, mic with no sound. So we did cup with no bottom. We did flavorless gum. Who's next? Mic with no sound.
Hi, that was me, Ivy, and Kimberly.
All right.
And the price is 49.99, and the name of our product is Echo Free Mic.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Okay. Want to feel like a superstar without worrying about sound? This prop is perfect for lip syncing, performances, skits, and videos. It looks real, feels real, but doesn't make any noise. So you can focus on your moves, confidence. It's lightweight, easy to hold, and stage ready. Whether it's for a talent show, TikTok, or just having fun with friends. Thank you.
All right. And you did it within a minute. All right. You all are just, you guys are killing it. I love it. So you named your product Echo Free. You actually had a mic.
Oh, yeah?
Um, I like that you went from, you gave us a price point. You might want to put the price point at the end because you don't know if the price point might turn someone off or not. So you have some good product to sell first, which I love. So always leave the price point at the end. It's like a cliffhanger. Like once you draw people in, then you hit them with the price. And the price was 49.49.
Yes.
Okay. See? So I'm remembering all these things because you all did an amazing job. Um, I like that you talked about feeling like a superstar. So you're trying to invite the people who are performers. You want them to worry less about their sound and focus more on their moves and their performance. So it's the what's in it for me and why should I buy this particular product? And then you have a good price point and just hearing echo, knowing that it has no sound is like a play on what's not going to happen, right? So, again, the more creative you get with this, and these are hard to sell items, and you all are doing amazing. I would buy any of them. So, thank you. Thank you. So, do you see how the flow, once you start to get into it, you can start to take these tips and things that you did to sell these hard items and then think about your research and start to think about your business. What are the three main points? What's in it for the audience? Why would the audience member want to buy the product or use your services or go to your place of business? And if you're doing the guided research, what are the three major important pieces around what you found out when you did your research that you want your audience to know that you found out, right? So you want to focus on that and you want to make sure that it's clear. But before you go into the nitty, before you get into the meat and the potatoes, you want to set it up by telling them what is it? What's your product or what's your research? And then you go into the details. Great. And at the end, you give them a lasting, idea about who you are and how to get in contact with you. And the last group is the clock with no hands. Who is that?
That was me, Stephanie.
All right. So let's hear it.
Okay. Clock with no hands is not a tool like a typical clock. Clock with no hands is an artistic piece, an art piece. It's symbolic. And why is it a clock with no hands symbolic? It's because 75% of people, when they are stressed out, they're looking at a time. Specifically with surgeons, while they're in the operating room, they're thinking about the time. How much time do they have left? How much time does the person on the operating table have time? But when they look at this clock with no hands, they will realize that the person's lives are in their own hands, which is why there's no hands in that clock. And for anyone at all, when they look at this clock with no hands, they will realize that their own time is in their own hands. And since your time is in my hands, I'll let you know that it's $12.99. That's all.
All right. Okay, clock with no hands. So it's almost like an inspiration piece, right? So this is a art installation that is supposed to remind people about the power they have of their own lives. So I love that you gave me a stat because it shows that you did your research around what people need and what people are anxious about. So you kind of hit on the pain point. So depending on what you're selling in terms of your business, maybe some people need to be scared into buying your product, right? So you're persuading them. Or they need to be persuaded not through fear, but because it's something that they want or they don't want to have happen. So I like that you talked about 75% of people are consumed with how much time they have. And then this clock is going to help remind people that there are no hands because life and time is in your hands, right? So, as an inspiration piece, what I would do is encourage you to name your product. There's so many ways that you can go around it. Like I was getting the inspo clock, um, your time clock, because you said time is in your hands. Um, yeah, so I love all of these ideas. And now that we've had an idea around how to sell hard items, we're going to take a 2 minute break because we're going to just move right. Oh, actually, what we're going to do is you're going to take a break and work on your own stuff. So, in about 2 minutes, you're going to take a 5 minute break, but that 5 minute break is you looking over your research or thinking about your business and starting to draw out the same thing that we did for the activity. Does that make sense? So before we take that break, let's talk about some quick tips. You want to create a solid elevator pitch. So when we think about that 1 minute, I gave you all some good feedback. Name your product or your research. What do you want to name it? What are the three key points in terms of why somebody would buy your product, use your product, go to your place of service, use your service? Why would somebody be interested in your research? Think about ways to hold people's memory. Many of you, some of you use stats. So I heard the 75%. I heard people say, hey, want to prank people. So, what are some interests that other people in the audience might have? How do you make it come to life? Some of you talked about the benefits. So some of you talked about allergies. Just thinking about those different tips is going to help you connect more to the audience so that they want to hear more about your business. So you want to answer the questions. Who are you? What is the business or your research? How does your business or research solve a specific problem? What is the problem that it's trying to solve? Who is your customer? When you think about your customer, what is it that they will want from you and what are you providing? How do you stand out from the crowd? So when we go to the bread aisle, there's hundreds of different types of bread. Imagine if a person said, "Oh, I can't make bread or I can't start a bread business because someone out there already exists." When you go to the bread aisle, the same way the clock reminded you that time is in your hands, when you go down the aisle in the supermarket and you go down the bread aisle, that should be a reminder that there is space for your business, there is space for your dreams, right? It doesn't matter that it exists. The whole point is how does your business, how does your idea look a little different from what's already out there? And the key component is you. You're the reason why it's going to be successful. So, what is unique about you and how you want to do your business? Focus on that. What is it going to cost? And what is your timeline? Roxy?
I have a question. So for because what I'm doing it's a nonprofit business that I want to pitch. Can I pitch like its adoption or people like putting it like implementing it, you know? Like
Yeah.
can
So if it's adoption, why would someone want to use your nonprofit to go the adoption route? Like, what are you going to be doing that looks a little different, that feels different? And think about the people who are looking to adopt. What message do you want to send to them so that they're like, you know what? I want to use Roxy's place. Like, I want to use that nonprofit. Does that
thank
make
you.
sense?
Yes, it
Okay.
does. Thank you so much.
All right. So let's take 5 minutes, right? Let's think about our guided research or our business. I'm going to keep this up here. You can turn off your cameras so that you can have more privacy. And when we come back, we are going to be doing our 1 minute pitch, whether it's for your guided research or for your business. So I'll see you soon. And everyone's going to go.
Hey, Kiana. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I was just jumping off of a committee call. I was like, oh my
No,
goodness.
it's
So,
okay.
I'm here now.
Everyone has their cameras off because they're working on their
Yeah, I was listening. I was on both calls. So
yeah.
I'm multitasking. See, I could do that. So, all right. I just put a thing in the chat for the time for them to come back.
Okay. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, everyone, if we can come back and cut on our cameras because it's about to be showtime. Because everyone will go, we can go randomly, or I can just go down the list by who I see. So it really depends on you. Who would like to go first? If you could raise your hands and then I can start to see and call out who's going to go first or second.
Okay, I'll just go first.
All right. So we have Rima.
Correct.
So I like to take notes so I can give the feedback. All right. So we have Rima going first. Who's going to go second?
I'll go second.
And what's your name?
Roxy.
Roxy. Okay. Your name didn't pop up. Okay. All right. So let's go with Rima. I'm going to put on my timer and then we are going to be good to go.
Okay, let me
All
know.
right. You feel good?
I think so.
So I just want to remind everyone, it is okay if you mess up. You don't have to tell us you mess up. You can just start from the beginning. Again, the worst thing that you could do is bring attention to your mistakes. No one knows, only you, right? We don't know what we don't know. So whatever you tell us, that's what I'm going to assume you wanted us to know. So that's fine. If you stutter, if people are staring, it is okay. Don't get in your head. We are practicing, and you're going to get a lot more practice before next week because you're going to set aside time, do this over and over again until you feel good about it. All right. So this is for everyone. It is okay if you don't get it right the first time. There's so many more opportunities for you to work on it. So let's begin.
Okay, so I'm starting a bakery called Remalicious because everything tastes better when it's Remalicious. So Remalicious is all about fun and fresh flavorful desserts, of course. I'm talking like soft cupcakes, custom cakes, gooey brownies, whatever you like, the kind of cheese that make you be like, ooh, like who made this? What makes me different is we don't just bake desserts, we bake vibes. Whether it's like a birthday, a school event, a holiday, or just like I need a dessert type of thing. Um, Remalicious turns sweet. Well, no, Remalicious turns simple moments into sweet memories. And the best part, you could customize your own cake depending on your mood because every dessert should match your mood. Okay.
All right. So let's give Rima a round of applause, everyone. Whoop, whoop. So Rima, I love Remalicious. It's a play on your own name. So it's you putting your own stamp on your marketing. I like that you talked about it being custom, and we don't only bake goods, we bake vibes, right? So that is your slogan. We're just not baking cakes, we bake vibes. And we are customizing what it is that you like because it's not just about what you eat, it's how you feel, right? So you're capitalizing on the emotions and also the food.
Correct.
So you're linking the feeling of that food and the emotion. So I love that. Keep it up. Um, Make sure that you add how people are going to be able to get in contact with you so that they can buy your product. So of course you could put a fake like website right? It's like www at remalicious, yummycakes.com. And, think about how do you want to present it next week? So if you're going to be over Zoom, what are some props or things that you can do? Maybe work on a Zoom background that kind of shows cakes and your logo. You could create a fake logo to kind of bring that through.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
So nice job. All right. Who's next? I think Roxy.
Yes, I'm next.
All right. I don't know why my phone just goes off. And action.
Okay, so my business is called High School United Hub, HSUH. And what it is basically it's tackling the problem that high school students, 60% of them miss out on opportunities whenever they be job listings, whenever they be events, whenever they be anything local or internships, or what our goal is to try to connect counties, cities, and schools together. And the way that we do is by collaborating with schools when it comes to things like an event. For example, if there was a play that was going on, if another school would be able to get access to that and get tickets on a discount. So because those two schools collaborate with us, they're both benefiting from it, and we are benefiting as they recognize us as their source of central hub. And within it we also have a website which provides job listings, events, and opportunities exclusively for the schools that collaborate and recognize us as their united hub, and that with administrative access to schools systems and their events and all their listings, we would be able to work with them to not only broaden their audience, but to be able to attract more people and benefit their school and their community. And what makes us different is that we have representatives in every school, every city, and every county, and we are always taking feedback and opportunities to further expand. That's all.
All right. Let's give a round of applause. So, Roxy, just wanted to make sure it's called High School United Hub.
Yes.
Okay. So I like that. It's we're just not connecting people, we're connecting counties and schools. So it's almost like you're a hub for all events happening across all high schools for better collaboration. Is that correct?
Yeah, but it's more specifically for New Jersey so that it's not too like out there.
Okay. So maybe saying that, because that's a key point, right? Like, let's say you're in a room and you pitch your program, hearing that it's New Jersey specific is going to bring a lot of pride in being from New Jersey and this is for me, right? So that maybe someone in Cali is in there and they're like, oh, this doesn't pertain to me, but this will be cool for me to hear because it might be something that we might want you to pitch and expand, right? So letting people know where it's and who it's for. So that's your audience. Let's see. You gave us a lot of information. So in 1 minute, too much information might have people a little confused. So make sure that you have your three key points. Like out of everything, what are the three things that you want someone to remember? You want them to know that this is not just connecting people on a high school level, but it's connecting people in New Jersey on a county level, right? Um, I love the what's in it for me, everyone benefits. And maybe that's your slogan. Welcome to the High School United Hub where everyone benefits. We provide, centralized information on all events happening in New Jersey across high schools so that we are collaborating. So, like, just talk about the idea of collaboration, talk about it being specific to New Jersey, and talking about And not going over three key benefits is going to be key. But I love it. I love the what's in it for me, and I love the fact that you're really uniting all schools so that everyone is benefiting from people, whether it's on the event side or on the participation side. Was that helpful?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Round of applause. Who's next? Nabia, do you want to go?
I'm not fully finished. I just need
Okay,
a few
no
more
problem.
seconds.
Anyone want to go? Ivy, Jasang, Jalen, Summer, Isaac.
I could go.
Okay, awesome. So Isaac, you'll go next.
I did the research, the guided research.
Okay. So Summer, if you could sit up so that I can hear you a
Okay,
little
one second. Mm.
better. Only so that your voice, when you sit up, your voice is going to carry. Awesome. All right. And action.
Hello, my name is Summer, and I chose research biology because I'm interested in how scientific discoveries can improve human health. After losing someone important to me, I became more curious about how diseases work and how scientists develop treatments. Research biologists study cells, genes, and living organisms to discover new information. They design experiments, collect data, and often work in labs at universities, hospitals, or biotech companies. One thing that stood out to me is that research requires patience because experiments don't always work the first time. Scientists also collaborate and in teams and publish their findings to help others in the field. Overall, research biology plays a major role in creating vaccines, medicines, and medical advancements. Um, this career combines science problem solving skills and the opportunities to make a real impact on people's lives.
All right. Congratulations. So I got that you want to become a research biologist
Mhm.
based off of one I love, and I'm sorry for your loss, but that story helps me to understand why this research was
Mhm.
very near and dear, and it also helps the audience understand why you're going this path, right?
Mhm.
So having a story also, especially when you're doing the research, the guided research, it helps people to connect to why this research is important to you. So one thing that I love is that you talked about it being vaccines, you needing to have patience when doing research, and
Mhm.
also why you want to be a scientist in this essence. What I will say as feedback is that when you're closing out your pitch, the same way you started with something personal, now that you've done this research and you're saying these are the reasons why this is what it means to be a research biologist. Here's why I'm getting into this field. In the end, what did you learn for you? Like all this information is great, but what are you going to take back with you? Or what is your next step?
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So who's next? I think I said Isaac.
Yeah, I'm next.
Okay.
Um, Staying healthy should be simple. Introducing HydroGo, the smart water bottle that helps people stay hydrated without even thinking about it. Most people don't drink enough water because they forget. HydroGo tracks how much you drink and lights up when you're behind on your daily goals. It connects to your phone, sets targets, and keep you on track in a simple, easy way. It's made for busy people who want more energy and better focus, and a healthier routine without extra effort.
All right. So Hydro Go?
Yeah, glow.
Okay. Oh, Hydro Glow?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Hydro Glow, the glow is a play on what the app is going to do when you're meeting your water goals and not meeting your water goals,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I like it. Um, and what sets you, one thing that I would love to hear is what is going to set your app apart from other apps?
Um. Um.
You don't have to think about it now. Just, just thinking about like talk about what would be the benefit of someone using your app versus the other. Like, I love when you talked about like staying
Cause
fit, staying hydrated is a benefit. It's something that is very hard for people. So, this is going to make it easier, right? And with this app, it's, how much is the app? Like, how much is it to download or for a subscription? Is it free? Does it cost a certain amount? Is it like $1 a month? Um, $2 a month, whatever it is.
uh,
All right. Is there anything else? I think you were gonna say something.
no, I was about to like to explain,
Did I
but
get it?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
what you're okay.
yeah.
Okay. And then also you might want to think about like, is there a statistic out there that will have people go, oh wow, like what is the average person not drinking the water? Like you already came up with the idea. Now find the stat and the research to kind of prove it. Like you could look it up. Like how many people in the world are dehydrated? What's the percentage? And like think about that.
Okay.
Awesome. Who's next? Ivy?
It's Evie, but yeah. Okay. So
Oh, I'm
I
sorry, Evie.
no,
No,
yeah, it's okay.
correct me. No.
Um, I did the research as well.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start off. Okay. Hi, my name is Evie, and I research the curly hair subscription industry. Businesses like Curls Monthly deliver personalized hair care products to customers every month, starting at around $28. This industry is growing because people want convenience and products that match their specific curl type. What makes these businesses successful is personalization, education, and strong branding. If I were to create my own version, I would expand on this model by offering tiered pricing and exclusive partnerships with diverse hair brands. The goal is to combine confidence, convenience, and community into one monthly experience.
All right. Okay, Evie. So your industry is all about curly hair, accepting it, and then linking people to certain brands, right? Did I get it?
Yeah.
So I like that you gave information on how much those subscriptions happen to cost. So you gave me some product research development. You also talked about the key factors that are going to make someone who gets into this industry successful. So it has to be convenient, it has to be personalized, and there has to be some tiered pricing based off the product, right? Um, and then thinking about your journey if you get into it. I love that you talked about that, and maybe there is a specific brand that really caught your eye. So you can maybe name a brand that you would love to work with, because then it shows that you really went in deep and that you found more information around the product. All right, who else wants to go? Anyone
Can I
else?
go?
Anyone else? Yep.
Can I go next? Okay, thank you. So, my business is NJS Tutoring, Studio Tutoring. I teach Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Introductory Engineering to middle school, and high school students. I offer lessons online and in person so students can learn whenever they're most comfortable. And what makes NJS Studio special is that each session is personalized. I guide students step by step so they truly understand the material, which builds confidence and helps them tackle problems on their own by focusing on small groups or one-on-one sessions. Students strengthen their foundation in STEM and leave feeling capable and prepared for future challenges.
All
Thank you.
right. All right. So NJS, I love that you spelled it out immediately. Algebra 1, 2, and engineering. And it's going to be online, as well as it's going to be personalized. You talked about building confidence, capturing what it is that they need so that they can be successful. And you also told me the age group that you're going to be focusing on. So that's awesome. What I will say is get a bit more comfortable. Like NJS, is that like a play on your name? What does it stand for?
N stands for the letter of my first name, J the letter of my sister's name, and S the letter of my mom's name. The
Okay.
first letter.
All right. So, just saying NJS is, maybe come up with a tagline or something about NJS, like your company? What is the overall purpose? Is that we build confidence by way of supporting people with algebra? And what about it, right? Like a lot of people suffer from not having confidence when it comes to math, and through your company, they're going to build their confidence, right? So that's how you're going to almost like sell your company first and then talk about what service you provide. Does that make sense? But I loved it. I like the flow. Great job. And I need some help with engineering. That seems pretty challenging. So awesome. Anyone else want to go before we end? Okay. So,
Can I go?
oh, okay, great.
Um, my pitch is about like physical therapy. So
Okay.
it's mine is like soccer, baseball, football, basketball, track and field. All push their bodies to the limits. However, only 62.9% of them have came about hidden injuries. But why? Are they scared, anxious, nervous that they seem weak? My services take those out the window. Our team are people who came from EMT school or med school, so they know what they're doing. So come on down to Jay's Body Repairs for only $150. We're willing to fix your engine to get you back on the road.
All right. And the engine meaning the body, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would love to hear you say your name in the beginning so that we just know exactly what your company is. Or asking, I think
Okay.
also when you started out, you told us about soccer, like you gave us all the different sports that would need your support, which I love. And I love the stat that you use. Just saying 62% lets me know that you did your homework. And just building confidence. And then when you talk about the engine, say in that engine that's the most important, which is your body, we got you covered. Like have some type of catchy way to kind of bring them in and know that it's all about your company. But that was a great start. And I love the 150 because you're saying where other places are scaling high, we stick to one price to at least get you in the door, right? So it's like 150 feels good as opposed to not knowing what you're going to pay until you get there. So everyone could get a consultation for 150. So I just want to give a round of applause to everyone that participated. Again, you've heard your peers take a stab at it. I want you to do the same. There's so many different routes you can go. You can go the route of like a commercial, or you can go the route of a pitch. when you're using your research, you can also explain those things. There's so many different ways. The whole point is be you, practice, especially if you're using a lot of words that you're not used to using. Practice saying it so that you feel comfortable. And then also ask yourself, is it better that I just use what I know and what feels more comfortable to me, or do I just stick to the script that I wrote? So make sure that your stuff kind of sounds like you so that people can really hear and feel you through the screen. Thank you so much. Remember, keep it short, keep it simple. Have your three major points and think about the audience and what they would need to know. Pace yourself. Don't feel like you have to rush through the information very fast. I know in 1 minute it doesn't feel like a lot of time, but you can talk a bit slower so that everyone gets to hear your information because your businesses and the research that you did is amazing. So, congratulations. Good luck next week. And I can't wait to hear how everything went. I'm going to talk to Miss Mendoza and I'm sorry, Miss McCamery, and we are finished today. So thank you all, and have an amazing next week.
Awesome. Mm.
And
I got to
Professor
clear my throat.
J
Sorry.
is on the ones and twos.
Hello, everybody. Awesome. So thank you. Y'all give it up for Miss Kiana Walbrook. Round of applause. So that was, hope everyone soaked that in. That should be a good little warm up, right, for Thursday. So we just have a few little things to go over here. Let me get you guys so we have the Mentimeter. We're doing it tonight since we'll do the end of course next week. So we have a Mentimeter and a survey. So we're just going to do a quick knowledge check. So dropping that in the link. Sorry, dropping the link in the chat. And I would play music, but YouTube does not like non-copyrighted music. So, all right. So go ahead and jump into that. See, we got 7 folks in here. Is that everybody for tonight?
I think so. We might be
Seven.
missing.
There you go. 8.
I think we're missing Kenneth. Isaac?
9,
Oh, no, it
10,
was Isaac.
11. All right. There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. I do think that's a full house. Awesome. All right. So we will jump into it. So just like the other times, is speed and correct answer. Here's the first one. What is an elevator pitch? A lot to read up. Otherwise, I would read it for you, but go ahead and scan. All right. Yes. Brief, persuasive speech that you can use to spark interest in what your organization does.
Professor J, is there a way to
Yes.
share it on the screen or no? Are we doing
Oh,
that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They may see it on their computers, but I'll share it for the Zoom too. In the participant link. All right. Question number 2. True or false? You can use an elevator pitch to promote yourself. Is that true or false? True. Awesome. All right. Question number 3. What is under promise and over deliver? Setting expectations high than you plan to deliver, setting them lower. So under promise, over deliver. Yeah, that's you set the expectations low, then you exceed them. A little bit of a tricky one there.
Yeah, I think in their defense, it was a lot of words to read in 2 seconds.
In order to deliver a successful pitch, you don't need to know your audience. Is this true or false? Definitely false. Yeah, you want to know who you're talking to, even if just a little bit. How long should an elevator pitch be? 60 to 90 seconds, a minute to 2 minutes, minute and a half to 2 minutes, 2 minutes to 2.5. Real close. All right. 95% got it. 60 to 90 seconds. What is the first thing your pitch should do? Grab attention, end quickly, show pictures only, list prices. First thing your pitch should do. All right. All right, 100% right. Awesome. When giving a pitch, you should mostly feel nervous and quiet, confident and energetic, bored, distracted. And it's just locked in. 100% again. Great job. All right, almost at the end. What should you avoid using too much during your speech? Eye contact, clear words, fillers like and smiling. I think everybody got this one. Yep, 100%. All right. Second to last question. Practicing your pitch helps you forget your ideas, speak more clearly and smoothly, make your pitch longer, avoid talking to people. Hundred percent. Good job. Good job. We ending it strong. All right. Last question. True or false? You should avoid practicing your pitch so it sounds spontaneous. Is this true or false? Oh, I think almost everybody answered that immediately. Well, we need the rest of these seconds. All right. Great job, everybody. 100%. Let's see who was the fastest and who got the most correct. So,
Oh, wow. Very, very close.
right. Roxy got the most points. You might have always also been the fastest. Oh no, the fastest was Jalen. All right. All right. Good job, everybody. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right. So, just as a reminder and a check-in, tomorrow is a practice session, right? So please join so you can practice your pitches, practice your presentations. That goes for everybody, whether you're doing the guided research or whether you're doing the business pitch, the elevator pitch. Tomorrow's a practice session. So if you guys join and we get through it and you feel good, right? We don't have to use it the whole time, but we are making it available so that you guys can end strong, right? Because Thursday is the presentation, right? So Thursday is, we're going to get on and you're going to be in good lighting. You're going to be ready to present and you guys are going to bring it, right? So that means energy, And so if anyone has any questions about their final projects, now's the time to ask if you have any final questions. So everybody feeling everyone's good? You guys
I think
followed the outline?
there's someone just saying.
Go ahead.
So like when I'm doing the pitch, could I just like say the pitch instead of like do I need like a slideshow to explain me or I could just do the pitch straight up?
Just verbal. For
Mm-hmm.
fundamentals, it's a verbal pitch. So you just speak for that minute or minute and a half. The advanced cohort is where you would do a presentation. So since this is your first cohort, you just got to give us the elevator pitch.
I think Roxy
Rock,
had a
go ahead, Roxy.
For the advanced cohort, when we do it again, is the pitch we doing now, does it have to be exactly the same or can it be like altered?
What do you mean the same? You mean by topic, or you mean like the words you're using?
Like, let's say that I changed a way like something works in my business, or like change
Mhm.
the name, or like, does it have to be exactly the same, or can it
Oh no,
change?
you can evolve it. You can build on it. So yeah, the goal is you're gonna evolve what you start in the fundamentals.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah, the purpose is that this is fundamentals. This is something that's going to continue to grow and expand as you guys go through the remainder of the cohort, right? So by the end of week 12, you guys should have like a solid, product. That you can walk away with, a tangible product that you can walk away with, and it is a living document that you can continue to work on throughout your, years, high school and beyond. So certainly it should certainly look different from when you started it to when you finish, or quote unquote finish, at the end of the 12 weeks, and then take it further from there. And it is important, I just want to stress, you should not be reading. You should not be using presentations. That is for the second half of the advanced series, where you guys will have more time and you will have a slide deck. This is specifically for your oral presentations only. And we can tell when you're reading. So make sure that you're practicing, and work with your peers. Tomorrow, come on and work with your peers. We'll be there to assist you. But you should be practicing how you're going to speak without, or in the absence of, any sort of script, because that is going to be graded. So you do need to know the material, which is why you have to be vested in whatever it is that you're presenting on, so that you can speak to it without any script or enhanced wording or support,
So,
rather.
so that's why I had said, you definitely want to say it in your own words or find a
Yeah.
different way to say it. It's okay for you to have things up on your screen to remind you of the feeling and the thought. But if you're going to read, people are going to know that it feels mechanical. So you just want to
Yeah.
say, like, what's your name? What's your product? What's your business? Why is it important? And not give 17 different examples, but just keep it down to 1 to 3 reasons why this particular product or thing is important. Because 3 things you can remember, 7 things can be a little difficult. So you don't want to make it hard, and it needs to feel like you. So make it as easy as possible and let your personality show more than all the words, right? They really just want to know that you've thought about this and you're thinking about how do you stand out.
Mhm. And just for what you guys are handing in. So for those doing a guided research, I'm dropping the link in the chat just in case anyone misplaced their emails. So for the guided research, that is option A, right? And of course requirements, where you do have to write up this write up your research, 3 paragraph minimum, 5 sentences each, right? So that's something that you will type up and send to us, and then you will deliver your elevator pitch. For those in the business plan framework, you would be filling out your business model canvas, your value proposition canvas. So those are the things that you guys would need to to hand in. Oh, and for business plan, you'll also just write a vision statement and a mission statement. So just make sure you guys look at the requirements and that you're checking off the boxes, right? It literally has the check boxes there. So those are things that you guys should be handing in Thursday, sending over to us. Make sure you can get it onto a computer that you could email from to send it over. Yes, Caroline?
So from what I understood, just so I understand, for the guided research, we send the paragraph to you and everything, and then we verbally speak on Thursday.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So definitely go through the check boxes, and you should be good. All right. Any other questions? Sure, go ahead, Roxy.
For the wait, sorry, I forgot what it's called. For the business model canvas, the 9 blocks, is there like do you want us to use this a specific template or can we just like put the 9 blocks in a Word document and like type them out?
You could do the Word document if it's challenging to get like a template out.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
Also, real quick, Professor J, if no one has any other questions about this, I want to kind of jump to the women's history, your first community women's history project. You all should have received either a WhatsApp notification or an email. Is Esther on? I don't see
I
Esther
did not see
tonight.
her tonight.
Okay, so I need to reach out to her. So you all should have received the notification regarding Women's History Month. There's a set of there's a guideline there that talks about what we would like for you to produce by the end of this month in honor of Women's History Month, where you're going to basically go and you're going to create like a TikTok, I don't want to say TikTok video, but like an interview, right? It's going to be nice, short, and sweet, but we want it to be intentional and impactful. And so you're going to speak to a woman. It could be your mother, it could be your aunt, someone who has really, who you have seen as an impactful figure in your life, or someone who has impacted you some way, form, or fashion. And you're going to interview that woman. You can do more than one, but the requirement is one. You're going to ask them a set of questions that we sent to you in the email and the WhatsApp group chat. And then you're going to you're going to edit your own video. So it's a whole thing. You guys know how to do a video very well. I'm sure you do. There's TikTok, there's CapCut, there's Canva. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do it. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. It will be featured on our website. It will be featured on our social media platforms. And it's also going to be featured in our newsletter that goes out to all of our audience. And that's well over 1,000 people just in our emailing list. So make it impactful, make it impressionable, but we're looking forward to seeing some good products come through. And I'll send you all a link that you can download or upload your videos to, just so that you don't have any issues with emailing them directly to us. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the project? It's not due until the end of the month, but I wouldn't wait until the end of the month to do it. I would certainly take your time and, be intentional with that effort. Okay. Yes, just saying.
It's kind of off topic, but for the application for the college thing, like when do you want it in?
Yeah, so the application, the deadline for you guys, I believe it's the end of March, and then we're going to open it up to the rest of our community. So any other scholars in the local high school area who's looking to participate. So it's open to you all first exclusively, and we are only because we want you all to participate and we want you all to attend. So that is a part of the experience. But if for some reason you're not able to attend, then if we have any additional seats, if we have a wait list, then we will open it up to those students that we've had wait lists for in the past, and we'll invite them to come back this season to come with us on the April 17th tour. So yes, you guys will fill it out. Hopefully try to fill it out sooner than later. Obviously, it's parental consent. It is an approved visit. It's a college visit, so you all will receive an excusal letter to present to your schools. Those who are local, those who are not local, you have been tasked with doing your research on a local college of your choice and scheduling a visit to that college. And as long as you can provide proof, then you'll receive credit for that visit. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. So, for the people who are not local but still want to attend Maryland, is that possible?
If your parents will allow you to, and they're willing to expense it, because we don't pay for, like, we don't pay the additional expense for your travel and all of that. I know we spoke about that previously, you and I, Nabiha. So if they're willing to travel with you or allow you to travel, like, that's really up to you and your family how you want to handle that.
And when could we receive our excuse letter?
The letter is after the tour, the college tour. So once everybody participates, you'll receive a letter in the email either that evening or the next day. It's a Friday, so you'll have it by that Monday for your class.
No, like I meant for like school, like
Yes,
the
that's what I mean.
school.
Yeah, so you'll
Oh,
get it. You'll get the letter if you need it. So we don't give it in advance in the event that you don't go, right? So we need to make sure that everybody attends first, and then we'll submit a letter. But we can send something in advance of and say, hey, this person, we are doing this college tour, just so that they are aware. But to confirm your attendance, you'd have to actually attend, and then we can provide you with the excusal letter to send to your school or to give to your school. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. Any other questions? Right.
Is the
Mhm.
excusal letter just for like S.O.A.R or like other scholars as well who decide to sign up?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Is the excusal letter just for like the business group or like other scholars who would like to sign up as well?
Yeah, anyone who attends, but again, right now it's exclusively open to just you guys. The application will remain closed to anyone else until the expiration date for you guys. So once you guys, let's just say if you all sign up and we have our 15 slots filled, then it won't open up to anyone else for this. We do it in the spring and in the fall. So then, other students will have to wait until the fall if they want to join us as a group. But you all have until, I believe, the end of this month to register. And then once you're registered or not, then we open it up to the rest of the group, depending on the number of seats we have available.
We've gone down this path a million times, but I think we should look at Ryan again.
Okay.
I have a theory and a plan. My theory.
I don't know whose background that is, but any other questions? College tour, Women's History Month project.
The Women Histories Project, is it just us talking to them or do we have to like say anything on our part? Or we're just asking them the questions.
You're going to get as creative as you want to with your video. So it's an interview, right? So you can introduce yourself. And I think in the instructions of the guideline, it does say, at the very minimum, introduce yourself, introduce the person that you're interviewing, and why you selected that individual to interview, and then you could proceed with the interview itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, just saying.
So, like, the interview is kind of like a debated interview where, like, if we ask them the question, can we, like, and they respond, can we build off of what they respond to ask more questions, or are we limited to the only question?
You absolutely can. Yeah. It's supposed to be organic. You don't want it to be, as Miss Kiana said earlier, too mechanical or just you're going off the script. Like, you can certainly, the questions are there to help guide you, but you certainly can add more. Obviously I think it's 3 to 5 minutes. So you don't want to extend it too much because people probably won't watch it from that point. But certainly you can definitely deviate from that. You don't have to use the questions that we provided to you. But it does tend to help students who don't really, have that guidance yet. And then you kind of feed off of that. Great questions, guys. Any other questions before I know Professor Jay has your surveys ready for you. Everybody give a round of applause to Miss Professor Key, Miss Kiana of Spark Leadership. Yes, give a round
It
of
was
applause for her.
amazing hanging out with you all. I'm so
Yes.
excited to hear more about your programs and your research and your businesses. Remember, you are unique. It doesn't matter if it already exists out there. What you bring to your business or your research is what's going to be the difference. That is it. Remember that bread aisle. There's hundreds of different types of bread. There's not just one, and there's bread for everyone. So just remember that. Don't ever think because someone else might have the same idea that you shouldn't go for it because you might be exactly what the community or the audience needs. So remember that.
Excellent. And for those of you who go to Rahway High School, I will be at the community center with you all tomorrow for your youth leadership summit. And I'll be teaching the resume class. So I'll be with you all day tomorrow. I'm so very excited about that. So for those of you who are Rahway High School, make sure you come by and see me if you're not a part of the program. Yes, there's some bread from Professor J. Your bread is better. All right. Any other questions? Hey, Isaac. Any other questions?
Hey, Ms. Rosie.
All right. Okay, guys. So, Professor J, are you good with the surveys or?
Yeah, I mean, if when you guys complete the survey, if you're all done, you're free to go.
Awesome. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody. All right. Good night, Isaac. Good night, Evie.
Easy,
All right.
Aggie.
Good night.
Easy.
Keon, did you say you had something you